Hello Capricorns, how are you? I know that your video is not in order. It did not come after Sagittarius and it did not come before Aquarius. Sorry about that. I shot your video and then I thought that I gave the wrong Jupiter transit, which I didn't. I realized no, I gave the right transit. But then even after looking over the video that I had shot, I still, something about it felt like I needed to redo it. I think when I did the video, so first 3 of Cups, the Chariot, and 8 of Cups. So when I first did your video yesterday, I was really feeling your energy and I just felt like, oh, like I'm done with this, like fuck this, I'm over it. And I think that it definitely kind of affected the reading, and I wanted to give you all a good reading, especially because I love Capricorns. I have a lot of Capricorn in my chart. Saturn is one of my planetary dominants. Saturn's in my first house. Capricorn's in my first house. Even though it's not my rising sign, I still have Capricorn is still my first house sign. Oddly enough, we can get into that later with the houses and how my houses are kind of got a little bit messed up in the process. But yeah, Capricorn in my first house, Saturn in my first house. So I'm sure a lot of you are beginning to sort of feel Saturn beginning to make its return home, which is going to be happening in December. And then Jupiter is going to be moving into your 11th house, right? So, you know, networking with people, meeting new people, friendships, gatherings, group dynamics are going to bring you new opportunities to sort of move forward. And I think to really instill the lessons, and, you know, I think Jupiter's, you know, just now going to be leaving your 10th house. So basically, you know, what did you learn? What did you take from your 10th house, and how have you been able to sort of utilize that and make that work for you, essentially? I'm also getting the feeling that a lot of Capricorns, we have this 8 of Cups energy. So I feel like a lot of you are walking away, right? Like in an effort to sort of, you know, pursue whatever this Chariot, whatever has been brought forth as a result of group dynamics. And this again is going to be happening as the month sort of continues, right? So whatever opportunities are brought forth through group associations, through work, through friendships, right? Like group dynamics, friendships, group associations, benefactors are going to be expanded, are going to be illuminated in your chart as Jupiter moves into your 11th house. And that also includes your hopes and dreams and wishes for the future, the things that you want to see happen for your life in the future. Things begin to manifest and sort of move forward. You're able to sort of bring things down from the ethereal plane and bring them into the physical realm. But in doing so, I feel that a lot of you are having to walk away and make some sacrifices, right? And especially when we talk about Virgo, Capricorn, those particular earth sign energies, we talk a lot about self-sacrifice, sacrificing, you know, in order, you know, in the name of responsibility, sacrificing because it's what we have to do to pay the bills, or to make this goal happen, or to make that business deal, or, you know, just your careers are demanding at the moment because you just had Jupiter in your 10th house, and now it's sort of paying off, where your networking is beginning to pay off and you're beginning to see some things happen. But we do have this 8 of Cups energy here. So let's see what else is going on for Capricorn for October 2017. Capricorn, October 2017. I oftentimes feel incredibly nurtured. Yeah, you know, and the first reading that I did, the 7 of Cups and the 3 of Cups both came out. And I feel that the 7 of Cups really speaks to feeling overwhelmed at the moment. Feeling overwhelmed, and there's a lot sort of happening emotionally that you don't know. This is you are the master of compartmentalizing and organizing in the real world, in the physical realm, right? And then when we get into this realm, that it's not so comfortable. it's not very comfortable. Your opposing sign, Cancer, is very good at navigating emotional realms, being incredibly intuitive, being incredibly turned in and tapped in, and tuned in, tapped in, turned on, quote Abraham Hicks. So Cancer is very good at that. Whereas you are very good at being tuned in, tapped in, turned on to what's happening in reality, like what's happening in the physical realm for you. And there's a lot of cups going on for you right now. And we even have the Chariot, which is the Cancer card. We have the Cancer card here. So there's a lot that's happening emotionally. And it's like you're having to sort of navigate this realm, this emotional, sort of ethereal, intangible realm that you're not really used to. You're like, I can't even grab these cups because they're floating on fucking clouds. How am I supposed to organize all of the different things that are happening here when I can't even, what am I supposed to do, right? What am I supposed to do? So let's see what else is going on, because I do feel that some other stuff, especially regarding relationships, is coming up for some of you all. Messages for Capricorn for October 2017. Don't mind my computer. I don't know if you can hear it. The fan is like going crazy. I'm like uploading videos at the same time as shooting video at the moment. So King of Cups. Yeah, more cups. More cups. So far, an incredibly emotional reading. And it's like we have these very, very erratic sort of water energies going on. The Devil, Saturn. There's Saturn. There you are, right? Trying to sort of stand your ground in the midst of all of this. Here comes Saturn. Saturn's moving home. Saturn's charging home. Right? And it's like Saturn's coming home, so Saturn will be happy there, but at the same time, that doesn't mean Saturn's not going to still do its job wherever it is, right? Like, my Saturn is in my first house, and so I'm getting ready to, and in Capricorn, so I'm getting ready to sort of approach my first Saturn's return. And at the same time, I'm like, yeah, I've had Saturn in my first house all my life. Like, I know what this feels like. I know what it feels like to have Saturn constantly trying to push you to be your best and push you, to really work towards self-discipline and setting restrictions and limitations, but it doesn't mean that it still doesn't suck, right? It doesn't mean Saturn coming home doesn't mean that it's not going to be uncomfortable nonetheless for us. Let's see what else is going on for Capricorns. The Moon. Yeah, there's is there a Cancer? Is there a water sign in the midst that's sort of, I don't want to say driving you crazy, but it's really causing you to question, a lot of what you believe to be real, right? Like questioning your reality essentially, but let's keep going. And I feel like this has to do with relationship stuff, and not so much with another person, but more so to do with sacrifices that you're making in a relationship right now. But we're going to clarify some of these cards as well, because these are the Devil, the Moon, large energies, huge energies. And we have the King of Wands here. And on the bottom of the deck, the Hanged Man. Yeah, so I do feel that a lot of you sort of are feeling like martyrs possibly at the moment. Martyrs who are sort of, now we have, underneath it we have the Three of Swords. So, willing to sort of, endure heartbreak, right? Like that there's this sense that I'm going to suffer in silence. And that was the same message that came through in the previous reading, that Capricorns are really good at suffering in silence. Just like Aquarians, just kind of like Virgos. We're good at suffering in silence. And doing so not in a way where it's like, I hope somebody sees me suffering, or I hope somebody sees that I'm hanging upside down over here, that I'm in pain, and that I'm, it's like you're suffering in silence for the absolute, sacrifice of your own emotional well-being. And so, I do feel that this Three of Cups energy is a positive energy for you, and that it does bring about, there are positive, there's you have a King of Cups here, right? So I'd be mindful as you are as Jupiter transiting through your 11th house, definitely pay attention to, or definitely be aware of, water signs, possibly a Cancer, Scorpio, or a Pisces. I'm really feeling Cancer because we have the Moon and the Chariot here. So this feels like and Cancer is also your opposing sign, right? So, sometimes Cancer and sometimes when we're really feeling sort of down and out, right? Or when we have these energies here that we feel really confusing, we need our opposing sign, our sister sign, to sort of help balance us out. We need that balance, right? And, while y'all, like I mentioned before, are very, very good at navigating and sort of organizing, your lives in the physical realm, you need help in how to do that in the emotional, spiritual, non-tangible sort of spirit realm. Like, you need help with how to navigate and organize your emotional constitution. And Cancers can help you do that. Cancers can hold you up as you do that, right? So in this group dynamic, right, there's definitely coming together. There's definitely inspiration in group dynamics at the moment, while Jupiter's in your 11th house, and there could be a water sign in there, like I said before, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, who really helps move things forward for you, or sort of inspires you, gives you an idea. I want to find more out about this King of Cups. Who is this King of Cups? Who is this King of Cups? I feel like this is y'all here. This is you guys here. Who is this King of Cups energy? Page of Wands. So somebody that definitely has, messages, has a message to bring to you. They have an offering. There is a sort of, there's an offering for a new beginning, for a new business venture, possibly a new creative venture before you. So that seems very exciting, but there's also a part of you that I feel is very kind of apprehensive about really, sort of engaging with this person. Like, this person may seem and appear to be very kind of, otherworldly and different and sort of, I hate to use the word exotic, but like something that you've not really sort of encountered yet, right? And as Jupiter transits in your 11th house, it's going to expand your social circle. So you're going to meet people who, you've never really met before or thought that you would meet, different people from different countries, and also, Aquarius being that house that rules Aquarius, the 11th house, you're going to meet, different people, unique people, eccentric people, people that you're kind of like, ooh, like who is that person? Like that, maybe they've got bright pink hair and you're like, I don't, not to say that some of you don't get down like that. Y'all definitely can get down like that, but there's definitely a sense that you're stepping into social circles and you're stepping into group organizations that are widening and broadening your experience of other people and broadening your experience of the types of people that you're meeting. So there's kind of an apprehension about taking this offer, because this King of Cups kind of seems to throw caution to the wind. And if anybody knows a Capricorn, like myself, who feels very Capricornian a lot, Capricorns are incredibly cautious, right? Capricorns have everything that it takes to succeed, but they're so cautious that sometimes they sabotage themselves in succeeding. Like, sometimes y'all have everything that it takes, master manifestors in the physical realm, can make anything happen, can get whatever you want, but are so cautious and are so mindful about how you go about getting what you want that sometimes you can sabotage yourselves, right? So let's clarify this Devil card. Can we get clarification for the Devil? Clarification for the Devil. All right. The World. So, yeah, the World. Where's Saturn at? Saturn's right now in your 12th house. So yeah, you're feeling very uncomfortable. Things aren't like, and the 12th house has to do with sacrifice, but on a spiritual level. 12th house has to do with like what, you know, our suffering, but on a spiritual level. Like not the suffering that we endure, like working 15, 16 hours a day, 90 hours a week, however many hours a week y'all are working, right? To like have the life and work towards the life that you want to have, where eventually that kind of suffering can kind of come to an end. When we have spiritual suffering, there's always this kind of unending energy of like, I'm constantly suffering, right? Like the suffering, there's no end really in sight. There is enlightenment, but then you just ascend and leave this plane, right? And you all are earth signs, so you're very much about mastering what's happening in this plane, in the physical realm. So with the world here, you know, cycles being closed out, wanting freedom from whatever this devil energy represents for you, wanting freedom from whatever has come up for you as Saturn's been in your 12th house. I'm going to get more clarification because the world is another big energy. I mean, the world to me also represents Saturn in the sense that it represents like, this is what happens when you follow the lessons that Saturn has had to teach you. You are free. You get free. You enjoy freedom. You enjoy the fruits and the rewards, right? Because Saturn is all about learn the lessons, mature, be responsible, take on responsibilities, and in taking on the responsibility, you find the freedom. You find what it is that you're looking for, right? Because you've worked so hard for it. Can I get more clarification for the Devil card, please? Okay. I think a lot of you are also seeking freedom in your relationships. Like you're feeling kind of bound or in bondage in your relationships at the moment. Any other clarification for the Devil card? Yeah. Eight of Swords, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Two of Wands. I feel that a lot of you, right, especially those of you who are in relationships that may not have been working, that you feel as though you've been doing a lot of, like you're in bondage to this person, and you feel the responsibility, like maybe this is a relationship that's been long-standing, you have kids together, you have a business together, you're living together, you share finances, so, you know, when we have, you know, and Saturn, Capricorn, Saturn energy really wants us to look at our responsibilities and how we commit to our responsibilities. Again, sorry for my computer, the fan. I don't know if you can hear it. If you can't hear it, I apologize deeply. It's annoying me as well. But Saturn is all about, you know, I get it that you want to have fun, you want to have freedom, you want to have expansion, you want to kind of do what you want to do, but you have responsibility. So we don't just get to do what we want to do, right? And that is essentially, you know, Saturn prunes us, especially when we're, you know, around 28, 29 years old, and we're heading towards our Saturn's return for the first time. Saturn is pruning us to understand that you're no longer a child. So if there's something that you want, if there's a desire of yours, even a need, you're going to have to go out and meet it yourself. You're going to have to go out and fulfill your own needs and your wants. Your needs come first, your wants come second. And that if there's a want that you have that you can't afford, you're going to have to be mature enough to understand that you can't just have it anyway, right? That like you can't just sort of do as you know, you're not a kid anymore. Instant gratification is no longer really in the equation. So, you know, some of you may be in a relationship where you feel like you want freedom from it, right? Like we have this World card here, and then we have the Wheel of Fortune, right? And then we have this Two of Wands where I feel that some of you are really actually looking at, well, I want to do this and I want to do that. Some of y'all may be feeling like, looking at Sagittarius, like they get to travel and they get to do this and do that, and you know they've been able to have these different opportunities, and I want to be able to do that too, right? Like I'm tired of feeling the heaviness of Saturn glaring down upon me, and that whenever I have an inkling of even wanting just even looking in the direction of pursuing something other than my responsibilities, that like I feel this heaviness. I'm sorry, my computer went to sleep. So I feel that a lot of you are in relationships where you feel like you're held in relationship with that person due to responsibilities, and you can't just up and leave. You can't just leave the relationship. You can't just say bye, like I'm gonna go and do something else. I'm gonna go travel. I'm gonna move out. I'm gonna go meet somebody new, right? I feel like a lot of you still feel like I can't do this, and I feel that a lot of you are sacrificing a lot of your own happiness to sort of be with this person still. And you want freedom from it. You want the cycle to complete, right? But there's so much responsibility that's at stake, that you're not really willing to take that leap of faith. Because y'all are Capricorns, and you understand, like, you don't just get to up and leave because shit gets tough. Are you joking? That's what Saturn is all about. You know, especially if your Saturn's in Capricorn and we're about to go through this Saturn's return. You know, one of the biggest lessons in there is going to be like, number one, failure. Failure is a part of life, and it's okay. Like, it's okay. We can fail. And the biggest failure is in not actually taking the risk. The biggest failure is in not taking the risk and is in not taking the offer from this King of Cups, right? The biggest risk is in staying here, right? But it's like, when you're offered, when an offer comes forth to you of like, hey, I have a new business idea or a new venture or a new sort of thing that I want to share with you, Capricorn, like there's this energy of like, oh God, I don't know. But then when y'all begin to feel like you're in bondage to things that you don't want to be in bondage to, that's when you wish, you're like, oh, now I wish I could just go off and do whatever I want, right? So it's like, you know, figure out a way to get here and stay there, right? Y'all are always going to be cautious because that's just who you are. But don't allow that caution to keep you here, right? And the other lesson that's going to kind of happen for those of us that have Saturn and Capricorn for our Saturn's return is that regardless of how we feel, we have to do the work. Like, we don't, like, just because we feel some type of way about something or someone or a situation doesn't mean that we still don't show up and be responsible. It's about sacrificing and having to work through shitty days, having to work through breakups, having to maybe break up, right? So that, you know, we can free up some time so that we can actually accomplish some goals that we have. We do have the moon here next to this King of Wands. I do want to clarify the moon though. But I mean, we have the Eight of Cups above it. So I definitely feel that a lot of you, once again, there's a lot of Cups energy that's coming up for you all. So feeling that a lot of you, and we have the High Priestess here on the bottom of the deck. So there's a lot of sort of psychic activity that's happening, emotional activity. That's not, you don't, it's your shadow self. It's your Cancer self. This is your shadow self. The moon is your shadow self, right? Saturn is the papa and the moon is mom. Moon is mama. Saturn is dad, moon is mom. So some of you are possibly getting in touch with with the inner Cancer within you, right? And that's what I mean is that when we're kind of entering into times where we feel off balance or we feel like, whoa, I can't hit, we can really pull from our sister sign, opposing sign energy to help us, right? Like we can do that. Sometimes as an Aquarius, I got to pull from my Leo, right? I got to pull from my Leo and sort of exert my power, whether or not, you know, I think that exerting my power is unfair to other people. Sometimes I have to exert my power and I have to let people know, like, I'm here. Like, I'm here, hear me roar. Sometimes I got to roar, right? And stand out in the spotlight. And so sometimes as a Capricorn, you have to go here. You have to be here and be okay with it. It's also part of who you are. We each have our opposing sign within us, right? And it's our job to love it and nurture it and understand it, right? And not sort of reject it entirely. But let's pull some cards. Let's clarify what's going on with the moon. Let's show what's being illuminated by the moon here. What's being illuminated by the moon here? What's being illuminated by the moon for Capricorn? Desire, passion, a desire for action, desire for movement. You want to take this, there's a part of you that wants to be really impulsive right now. There's a part of you that kind of just is like, I've spent my life being responsible. I've spent X amount of years being so responsible to this person, that person, this job that doesn't even fulfill me emotionally. Like, you're realizing, there's a realization that things are not fulfilling you emotionally, right? And there's this realization that, like, oh my God, I've been able to compartmentalize everything in the physical world so well. But now I'm realizing that my emotions are kind of scattered and are all over the place because I'm not being fulfilled. I'm not being fulfilled, and some things are coming up for me now where I'm realizing that, like, I'm actually probably an emotional wreck. I'm an emotional mess, and I have no idea how to even organize it. I don't even know. So what's being illuminated here is, like, the Eight of Wands is very fast energy, fast-moving energy, erratic energy even. Like, we don't know where these wands are going to land. They were aimlessly kind of thrown. Right? It's like Sagittarius. Sometimes I feel like Capricorns will look at Sages next door to them and be like, y'all can just fucking wing anything and it's fine. Y'all can just freestyle everything, wing anything, and it's like, y'all can just, you know, y'all can just show up and do whatever. You know, like, I have Jupiter in my 5th house and I'm a Sag rising, so when it comes to dancing, when it comes to creative work, I do very, very little prep. Whenever I have a dance performance, I do very, like, next to no preparation, and I still go out and I slay it. Like, and that's that Jupiter Sag energy, right? That y'all are beginning to kind of feel moving into your 11th house of, like, I'm seeing all these people that are just able to kind of show up and do whatever they want to do, and I want in on this energy. Y'all want in on this, right? Like, y'all can look at Sagittarius, like, how can you're not going to even prepare? You're not even going to get a good night's rest the night before? No, like, we don't have to. We have Jupiter on our side. Like, duh, you know? But you're going to have people in your life that are going to encourage you, be like, fuck it, let's go. Here you are. Let's go, let's do this. You've been really responsible. You've held it down. Like, what do you want to do, right? And there's some there, and I feel that this also represents, you know, more psychic downloads, more emotional, more stuff regarding emotions kind of flying in for you all. Let's get more information. Can I have more clarification for the moon? And I feel like this King of Wands is energy that you actually are going to start showing people. This King of Wands energy is energy that you're just going to be like, look, here's what's up. Like, I want this and this and that, and I'm going to take it. Like, I've worked really hard. Like, I feel like some of y'all are going to start really engaging in some Aries energy, especially now that we've had this full moon in Aries. And I believe Aries is in your Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, Aries. Aries is in your 4th house. So yeah, I think y'all are starting to get, like, with regarding, like, what you feel secure and safe in, I feel like y'all are starting to get kind of, like, warrior-like, of, like, don't fuck with me, or, like, don't, like, y'all are feeling very protective, like, y'all are building that crab shell, like, that crab shell, that 4th house, your 4th house crab shell, because the 4th house is ruled by Cancer, so that 4th house crab shell is now being turned into, like, you know, a metal, you know, cast iron shield, whatever, that, you know, Aries, the warrior, carries around, and you're just, like, fortifying yourself, especially in your inner circles, at home. Let's see what else is coming up for the moon. I still want to get more clarification for the moon. I'm glad that I redid this reading. I'm glad that I redid it. It needed to be redone. This is a much more clear, concise reading for you all than the first one I did. All right. Five of Pentacles. Yeah, I feel like a lot of you all have been working really hard. And also, number one, working really hard and feeling like you're still sort of denying yourself, right? We have these pentacles up here. And I'm guilty of this because I have Capricorn in my first house, but, like, I can be really cheap sometimes, and, like, I'll have the money to be able to afford something or afford a better option or take care of something that needs to be taken care of, and I'll find, like, the cheapest DIY way to do it. I will, because I'm just like, nope, we're not spending that money. We're going to find the cheapest way to make this happen. Even though I have the money to spend, and I've had, people before tell, like, my mother has been like, just pay the money for it. Like, you're going to have to fix it again later, right? My car being one thing, right? And I feel also a lot of you are recognizing that, like, whatever this relationship is with this person, that, like, you've sacrificed so much that you've actually decided to go stand outside in the cold with them. Like, whoever this person is, right? I feel like this is you following this person. And whoever this person is that you've been in this relationship with, whoever this person is, has kind of wants to be out in the cold, wants to sort of be, in their own sort of, sad self, wants to take actions that will sort of compromise the foundation of your family or compromise the foundation of your relationship. Let them be out there by themselves. Like, you are now, being the Capricorn that you are, or like, okay, I'll go outside with you and, like, we'll go through this together. Fuck that. No. Y'all have worked too hard for that. So there's this incoming of these realizations that, like, number one, I'm not happy and I got shit that I want to do. Like, I have adventures that I want to go on. There's this sense of you where you're just like, oh my God, I feel like a fire sign. Like, I need to, for the first time in my life, I feel like a fire sign. I need to go off and I need to go and do what fire signs do and explore and expand and, bring warmth and light and joy to wherever I go. Like, I want to do that. Like, you want to be a fire sign. You want to be a bit impulsive and you just want to experience that. And there's a realization that this is my wet blanket. This is what I thought was my security blanket, and it's not my security blanket at all. Got Aries in that fourth house, letting you know what's up. That, like, no, and there's this sense of, like, I'm now going to take charge. I'm going to take charge now, and I'm going to do what I want to do, even if that means that I have to walk away. Because I've got to get some things right with myself, right, emotionally. And this King of Wands energy, I feel like, can be read as you going forth and doing that, and definitely taking charge and being the commander, right, of your fourth house, of your family life, of your home life, and really exerting your will. Setting boundaries and exerting your will is what I read when I see this King of Wands coming up here at the end of the reading. Let's get clarification for the King of Wands. Can we clarify the King of Wands, please? For Capricorn? Yeah. You're going to go. I feel like whatever opportunity that this King of Cups has, it's a financial one, it's a creative one. You're going to take it. You're going to take some new beginnings, and you're going to go off and you're going to do your thing. I feel that, like this King of Wands is a new energy. It's a new way that you're sort of manifesting and projecting your earth energy. So let's get an outcome card for Capricorn. Outcome for Capricorn for October 2017. Outcome for Capricorn. Sorry for all the shuffling. I can't help it. They come out when they want to come out. Outcome for Capricorn for October 2017, please. Can we get an outcome card? Thank you. Four of Swords. So I feel that whatever is coming, I feel that whatever has been coming in through the Seven of Cups, right, emotionally, I feel that you all definitely get a grip on it. because this card to me indicates, yes, meditation, but also peace and tranquility. Like, this person's at rest. This person's mind is at rest. So you find rest. Y'all find rest. Y'all find a minute to really kind of collect and gather your thoughts, and they're now lined up. They're all lined up now. They're organized the way that you'd like them to be. But yeah, meditation, rest, and, you know, separating yourself from situations that sort of, you know, enhance or really sort of amplify the Seven of Cups energy, where you're just really feeling confused and out of control emotionally. And it's okay to be there. Like, just let it run its course, because it'll calm down, and you'll have tranquility eventually as the month progresses on. So that is your reading, Capricorn. I hope you enjoyed it. And again, this is a general reading, so it may not apply to everybody. If it doesn't, there are tons, thousands, probably maybe even millions of other readings on YouTube for Capricorn that you can check out. If you did like this reading, subscribe to my channel, and also click and check out the links below if you want personal readings. I have my email address up there, my website, other links that you can click and check out, other things that I've got going on. I love y'all, Capricorn, and I will see you all in November.